There we go. Take two. Nvidia Broadcast is a new little app from Nvidia. I'm gonna have a bit of a quick look. You can find it in this place. You can just download it, install it, and then it will be in your system tray. And you will get. It's very easy. And then let's see if I can capture it. There we go. I can even capture it. That's nice. Let me do this. Here we can see how it looks. Very simple. So this application has noise removal that's been available previously in a separate RTX voice app, and that one is open to use without an RTX card. You can actually use it on your 970 to 1080, I believe, but you're gonna to get a bigger performance hit. This should be very small. So at the moment, I can't really see that it's being utilized in any real way here. There is I can see there's a little bit of a load here, but that doesn't look to be too much. So if I try, it shouldn't be too performance heavy, but you never know until you try it yourself. So it could affect your gaming a little bit. How much? I haven't done an extensive testing for it since I haven't decided if I'm gonna use it. I'm probably gonna at least try it out a little bit to see. So you probably don't gonna need to mess with this tab. This basically just tries to only let your voice come through the speakers. If you are in like a Discord or anything, it will try to filter out anything that people are saying to you, so only their voice will be heard. So if you're playing game, the game will be the game audio will be filtered away. So probably not really that useful. Maybe if you're in like a Skype call or something, you can turn this one on to help if the person you are talking to does not have a good setup that's quiet. Otherwise, you can probably leave this alone. This is the removal of background noise. I don't know how much it's picking up here, but I have my door open, so my balcony door, so I can, I hear there's traffic and stuff like that. A little bit of extra noise here to see how much it will filter away. So it seems very good because as soon as there's no noise, it seems to definitely mute everything. So let me try. Now you should hear background noise. Everything should be heard over my voice and everything. So you know how well this works. And when you turn it on, it should cut all the background noise and probably try to minimize the guitar noise also. This might be fun. I'm gonna try this so maybe I can game more. I tried it in the past. It works once. It works really nice, but I might try to so I can use the game without headphones and still be recording with that. So that's gonna be fun. But I think one of the most main thing people might be curious about is the camera. Oh, maybe I should. You can try to this if you type, to like see how much background noise you want removed. Maybe you don't want everything because it can affect, your voice. So you can try to play around with it and you can listen to it, So you can try and play around with it before deciding. But this is a little bit more of the fun. Um, so just maybe to tie this one up, this should be, you can set this to just default device. It should work because you should have had, if Discord and everything is working by default with your microphone, you don't need to change this. I have manually picked my recording device, my sound card, just because I like it that way, so it doesn't get mixed up. But you shouldn't. You should be fine with the default. But here we are, and let me go to this one. So I really like this actually. This is might be the effect that I use the most. So as you can see, it will blur the background, and let me turn it on and turn it off. It's really nice. This is definitely effect that I think is the best, and this might be better or worse depending on your camera. My Microsoft Studio Live Cam is pretty decent, so, and it's daytime and it's quite bright, so, but this effect seems really nice and it seems to work really well, and you can fine tune it. I really think this is amazing. Really fun that they have this. I definitely will be using this filter, that's for sure. But you can also use background replacement, which basically means remove the background and then show something else. But if you're using OBS, it's not really that useful. You can just do background removal, and then you can, in OBS, just put any picture you want behind. But in using this, what you can use is that you pick a picture in this part and then use this option, and then Skype or any application will display it. But since I'm mainly using this for OBS, it's not useful for me. So this is what, is the more fun. But as you can see, it's not as good as a real green screen. Um, it's very nice, if you just have the card and you don't have the big setup for the big green screen and everything, why not? It's not terrible, but your mileage might vary. If you use like a cap or hat or anything, it might be better because it's easier to detect sharper edges for the AI. So obviously, that's going to take rid of all of this. One thing is that if you like, I was thinking it could have been fun if you could have had like this to use with the instrument. Obviously, it cannot because it sees this as something that should be removed that isn't you. uh, and that is why a green screen is a stronger alternative. You have more freedom to pick what you want in the frame or not. But it's interesting. I might use this a little bit to see how, if I like this one or blur the most. I'm not sure, but maybe I'm gonna try the little bit of both of them to see as what I end up with. And then you have auto frame. So basically, it tries to always keep you in the center. Interesting, but you see, it's a little bit of delay, so not something that I find super useful for me. You can. It's really fun, this, and this is free if you, as long as you obviously have a RTX card, since it will require that. And I hope they will expand, especially on the video post-processing filters more. I don't know if how much they can do with other options here. Let me see if I I try something. If we try, my GPU is now at 2172. Let's see if I do this. So now that was 5% of my 2080 when I turn off the background blur. And let's go to the microphone. That was 0. Using noise removal seems to be absolutely pretty much 0 impact, at least when I'm just watching OBS and monitoring within the task manager. So turning this one on pretty much doesn't impact anything that I can see. Maybe it's 0.5% or something like that. So this is noise removal. If you have an RTX card, you probably can use it. It's not going to be a huge effect on your gaming. It uses the tensor core, so I guess it could be, if you're using DLSS or ray tracing, it could have more of an impact because you can't really monitor exactly the tensor cores usage, not to my knowledge at least. Maybe in another tool here, but the camera definitely will take a little bit of a hit here, 4 or 5%. But I think it can be worth it. It probably isn't more than like a couple of frames. So unless you really are struggling, you probably can try this one out and it could be fine. And then maybe they can improve it in the future and other stuff. So this might be good to know. If you go to the settings, you can disable it because by default it will always boot up within Windows and be there. And I don't know, I find that probably not necessary having this always running, since it could impact the games and stuff like that. So having this one off seems like a good, nice option for me. But here you can turn it off and then it will not auto run, or you can have it always running in the background. You don't have to worry, it will just be there. And it's not anything more to really show off here, I don't think. I can show you how you do it in OBS real quick. So let me go to this one. So microphone, if you go to that one, or you find it, you need to set this to be device microphone Nvidia Broadcast. And you can do it from this menu, or you can use it from within, maybe use this menu for the microphone to be a microphone Nvidia Broadcast. Otherwise, it will not apply the effect. And it's also a good thing to make sure that you don't have any noise removal or gating filters or stuff, because those can interfere with how the noise removal will work. So you can have like a compressor, I'm sure. You can probably have some other like equalizer. Just don't use the noise gate or other like limiter or stuff that's gonna like try to cut out the background noise. And for the webcam, it's pretty much the same. You need to have it to be Nvidia Broadcast. Now, one good thing to know is that you cannot use that. So if you need to, like I need, my camera is a little bit of a wonky. If you need to change settings, I have to do and then I can change settings. And I save them and then I switch back. The problem is that this could mess up your scenes. So that's the only drawback so far. And I have no way around it. I have not found a good way for me to configure my camera outside. I know how to do it. I just haven't really been researching into it. But if you don't change settings often and stuff like that, it's not going to be a problem. But it might be good to know. So This is normal. You can't configure your camera through the Nvidia Broadcast, obviously. You need to change it to your default camera. And then you change the default settings of your camera and it will transfer into the Nvidia Broadcast camera. And you might also get a slight image degradation because you get to realize that most likely Nvidia Broadcast is capturing an image from your camera, processing it, and doing everything, and then sending it back out, and that, depending on how good your camera is, it might be more or less visible. I have had no problem with that so far. I think it looks fine. I can't really tell good real difference. And I think I covered everything within this Nvidia Broadcast app. And if you have an RTX card, might be fun to check out, especially in noise removal if you're in a noisy environment. And it's gonna be fun for me. I'm gonna play back this to listen how much of the background noise is being cut out, because that is definitely a feature that is probably gonna be used for me when streaming stuff, to just get as clean as a voice as possible. And it seems, the quick look, really no performance impact. So, and then I have decision. Background blur, really awesome. Noise removal or background removal, more or less like it works great for everything but the hair. So maybe start wearing a cap on stream like Summit or something like that. Then no problem. Be bald like Tim. Tim the Tatman. Well, yeah. Check it out. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and I'm gonna definitely checking this one out myself.